Hello, viewers. Is this real makgeolli? I've been brewing makgeolli on this channel for 5 years. So have I been making real makgeolli? In some ways, no, I haven't. So today I try to make some makgeolli that is more real, and I show how I extracted more while filtering. So here's the thing. Here's my brew, my rice wine. The whole brew is called wanju, the original alcohol, and that's a result of roughly filtering my rice wine without diluting with water. So what I'm holding here is my wanju, and I mix it together and I add water and I call that makgeolli. But there's actually 2 layers here. There's the chongju, the top layer, the clear alcohol, and there's the takju, the bottom layer, the cloudy alcohol, where the sediment settles. Now, going back in time, even if the farmer brewed the wanju, the chongju would go to the ruling class. They're called the yangban. So the chongju is the premium alcohol that goes to the yangban, and the farmer gets what's left over. And then the farmer mixes that with water. So the farmer dilutes the takju with water, and that is makgeolli. So I've been drinking diluted wanju and calling it makgeolli, but traditionally the real makgeolli is diluted takju, which is more humble and rustic. And there's another thing I usually do, which is not rustic. I dilute with water just before drinking, but I think the rustic way would be to add the water while filtering. So in order to be more rustic, I'm going to add water to the jigemi, the leftover after filtering and squeezing, to see how much more flavor and alcohol I can squeeze out. Maybe this will be more in line with traditional makgeolli. So here's my first attempt. So this is a previous brew, previously featured on this channel, and here's the jigemi left over after filtering. So can I get more rice wine out of this jigemi? So I've weighed it. I'm going to put it back in the filter bag. I had 526 grams of jigemi this time, and I'm going to add 250 milliliters of water and try to squeeze out some more liquid out of this. Will I get some more flavor? Will I get more alcohol out of this? I don't know. So let's try it and see. So I really try to get it wet and squeeze the jigemi again through the filter bag. So this is completely extra. Normally I would have just stopped at this point and discarded the jigemi. But this time I'm going to see if I can get some more makgeolli out of this. What will I get? Well, I'm getting something because the color is quite white actually. So it's not water. I'm getting something out of this by squeezing and oops. Okay, squeeze carefully. So this is really the dregs of the brewing. I add some water and squeeze again. So this is most rustic. This is something that I was ready to discard, but I'm going to try to make the most use of it and see if see if I was discarding something that I shouldn't have. Okay, so it's getting pretty dry. I think I got as much as I can out of this. I'm going to weigh this again, and that'll help me estimate how much I got out of this second squeezing. Okay, so here's the liquid. I have about 300 milliliters of liquid here, and 478 grams of the jjigae meat after squeezing again. So here's a summary of the measurements. So I ended up extracting about 50 more grams of some liquids and solids out of the jjigae meat, along with the 250 milliliters of water. And so this is a whole extra cup of makgeolli here. So let's taste it. What do I have here? Well, it is malty and milky. There's plenty of flavor here. It's tart, and then I taste the alcohol. It sort of has a powdery texture that sort of matches this particular brew. It happened to be a little powdery. And it has enough flavor, but not enough alcohol really. But the flavor is good. So I think this is a big deal. I get an extra bowl of makgeolli out of this, and when I taste it, I hear my farmer ancestors tell me it is rustic and good. So I'm going to try again. So here's another brew. This was 338 grams of jjigae meat, and this time I'm only going to add 150 milliliters of water. This happens to be the sorghum brew, so mostly rice, but also sorghum. And here's a summary of the measurements. I had 335 grams of the first jjigae meat and 150 milliliters of water, and that yielded 302 grams final jjigae meat plus 182 milliliters of liquid. So the 150 milliliters of water allowed me to extract another 30 grams of flavor out of this jjigae meat. I still think that's probably too dilute, but the color is good. So I taste more grain and rice. It's still too diluted, but without realizing it, I've been missing this flavor. I want to try this yet another time. This is my third attempt, and 400 grams of jjigae meat. I'm going to add 150 milliliters of water and squeeze this again. And here's the summary of the measurements. I ended up extracting about 35 grams out of the jjigae meat. The taste is again malty and milky, and these are some of the essential flavors of makgeolli from the dregs of brewing. This is the real taste. I think I need to do more experiments with adding water during the filtering process, and so stay tuned for those, and I thank you for watching.